everybody, welcome back to Simply Sam. Today we're making a kid craft, and it is just this little pumpkin that kind of looks like a wind turbine. But it's super fun and easy to make, and I'm actually a part of a collaboration this week. So I will put links below with all of the other channels that are participating, and they have been throughout the week. I think it ends tomorrow. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and get started on our pumpkin. So I have here just a piece of orange cardstock, and if you're doing this with your kids and they want the pumpkin to be a little more decorative than this one is, you could go ahead and get them to color on our orange piece of paper or whatever color you have, or you could use different colors of paper, but yeah, I'm just going to make the base project, and of course you guys can have fun with it. So what we're going to do is cut our paper on the horizontal side at 1 inch, and I'm going to cut this entire piece of paper into 1 inch strips. And obviously they don't have to be perfectly cut with our paper cutter. You know, you could hand them some scissors and let them have at it if they're old enough. Fun fact about me, I love kids. I love babysitting. I used to nanny for a while. So yeah, little crafts like this are probably my favorite thing to do, especially when I'm babysitting, because, you know, kids like to be active, but doing crafts also teaches them, you know, that it's okay to sit down for a little while, and they're really proud of their accomplishments when they're done. So this is actually a really easy craft. You know, you could do it with little kids or big kids, and of course you can do strips of paper that are not an inch. You can do 2 inches and use less paper, or, you know, little strips, just as long as our brad will fit in it, and I'll get to that step in just a second. Okay, so now that we have all of our 1 inch strips of paper, we are going to be using this hole punch and just punching holes in this top part of our strips and in the bottom part. And I found you can do a few at a time, so if you're kind of making these ahead of time for kiddos, you could just do this for them. But a hole puncher isn't too difficult to use. At least it won't hurt anybody. At least I don't know of a hole puncher hurting anybody. Oops, I did too many. Nah. Got it. Okay. Get this last one done. So our next step is going to be with these brads that I actually just had left over from another project I did in the past. So they have a little bit of bling in them, but of course regular brads would work just fine. And the first thing we're going to do with all of our strips of paper is put them together so that the holes line up. And then I'm going to take my first brad and put it through every single one of them right there. And I'm going to flip it over and tighten it up. Okay, then here comes the fun part. I'm going to take my paper and spread it out like a big star. I'm going to make sure none of my papers stick together, and I'm just going to spread it out like this. Sorry, I'm going out of the camera a little bit. This is going to be a big pumpkin. And now what we're going to do is start taking each of our pieces that are left with a hole and another brad, and we're going to put our brad now where it's facing down towards our, like where the pointy ends are facing towards our other brad. And I'm going to take a strip of paper, I'm going to bend it over so it makes a big C, and then I'm going to put that brad right in there. And then I'm going to take another strip and I'm going to put it under the first one that I just did. And I'm going to keep going around and doing that until all my strips are rounded and they have our brad through them. And they may get a little uneven in this process from where we made our star, but that's okay because these brads allow the strips to be able to move around a little bit more. So if you need to adjust, it's okay. So then our last one's going to be a little hard to put in, but we got it. See how all of that's together? It makes a big C all around. And then we're just going to close our brad, make sure it's pretty tight, and then you can just start playing with your pumpkin and fanning all these strips out. Okay, you can kind of push it down so your paper's not so stiff. Alright, so there's our base, and then for the top you could put ribbon here, or you could leave it plain, you know, whatever you like. But I just have a piece of green baker's twine here, and I'm actually just going to wiggle it under my brad, like so, so that it's nice and snug in there. And then I'm just going to tie it in a bow. Or you could leave it hanging the way it is. The possibilities are endless with this craft. Alright, and there we have our Kid Craft pumpkin with paper strips. I hope you guys enjoyed this week's video. Please let me know if you make this with your kiddos or someone else's kiddos on my Facebook group, which is called Simply Sam. If you'll just go on Facebook and search that, you can be added to the group. And be sure to check out all the links that I'm going to put in the description box below for all the other awesome Halloween crafts that were happening throughout this week. So I will see you guys next week for an awesome pumpkin carving video where I will be having a special guest appearance. So yeah, I hope you guys have a good weekend, and I'll talk to you very soon. Bye-bye!